Do you see that, William?
I do.
Do you see that, William?
I definitely see it.
If you can't tell by the sound of my voice, it's loud, it's raspy, it's rough, it's a little broken today because I've just been yelling at these kids on this football field, and eventually I had to yell so much. Will, I was yelling, cussing. These kids weren't listening, and I had to take out that belt and put it to ass. Sometimes these kids don't listen. Will, I think I got a little bit of Justin Jefferson's ass cheeks right there. I think that's Justin Jefferson's ass cheek right there on that belt. Justin, is that you? Get your ass back there, boy. Disrespect me again.
I thought that was a Meek doing that all night.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Well, I'm glad you said that because right there it is. All right, let's just take Justin Jefferson for a little walk today around the park.
Hey.
Because I don't know if you see how awkward those children's legs are on him, but I didn't see those legs doing no grittying today. I didn't see no gritty legs.
Zero grittying today. Zero
William,
gritty. Yes, sir.
I've never felt this good after a win. All right. The Vikings fans, I hope you're in this episode like you've been all over our TikTok, all over our Twitter, all over our YouTube page. Show up today. Take your wounds. Lick them like a man. I'll take that chapped belt to ass out west to go handle business against those Rams. So you can bring that same old ass that we just mentioned, that same ass, back here in a couple weeks, and we can whoop it again. William, how are you feeling today, William?
Just overjoyed. It is at time of recording 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's late,
1:15, whatever.
However you want to look at it.
Yeah, it is. Part of me wanted to wait until to get a little bit of rest, but then it was like, no, I want true raw emotions. To like the follow-up episode will be statistics, it'll be analyzation, it'll be facts. But today you're just gonna get the raw. There's a couple of things that I want to hit on, but the shirt should tell you how I'm feeling. The shirt should tell you. A part of me wanted to go. There's a lot of receipts. You mentioned it. There's a lot of receipts that I wouldn't got out of our thread. I've never seen so many fans just get into our comments and just try to troll us. But I'm not even gonna go down that road, man. I'm not gonna go down that road.
Can I say something real quick?
Let's do it.
I don't have a flower shop, William. But if I did, I'd have to give you every flower in the world because in our game day episode, I'm just going to sit back. This is going to be Will's show today. I'm done. My part's done here. I came in with the comedy. I'm done now. But what William said in this game day show, everything came to truth, William. You said, and I quote, Amik Robertson versus Justin Jefferson matchup to watch for. It sure was. You said that this game is going to be decided in the second half. It was 10-6 going into halftime. You said whatever team comes out and makes an adjustment is going to be the team that wins. Check. Yep. You said Alex Anzalone is going to be a huge factor in this game if he's cleared and healthy. At the time of game day episode, we did not know whether or not he would play. We had to jump on the next day, talk about that once we had some more information. William, you called this game to a T. You said Jahmyr Gibbs would be player of the game offensively. You had the defensive player of the game. Like, take over the show, William. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy.
Steve, we've been on a long journey, man. And I'm going to start this thing with AG. A lot of people have told us that we were idiots for even talking about AG in the same breath as Ben Johnson. Like it shouldn't even be. They shouldn't be in the same conversation because Ben is so far light years ahead of what AG is as a coach, and we've stood here and defended him until I just think that there's no longer any defense needed. He's done everything possible to show not only our fans, not only the city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, the whole NFL, our Indonesian subscribers, right? The guys over in England, shout out to you guys, Hawaii, everywhere. He's done everything that he's needed to do to show these guys what it really is. All of the injuries, he's never got on and mentioned anything about, hey, man, we got guys banged up. Hey, maybe it's not going to be. No excuses, man. All he does is go out and put out every single week. And even in a situation like the Buffalo Bills game, it would have been a perfect opportunity for him to come on and say, hey, man, listen, we're banged up. We're this, we're that. He didn't. He said, we got to play better football. we got to be better, and we will be better the following week. And that's all he's done. So the first thing that I want to do is tip my hat to AG, man. Like, you're a freaking monster, man. I'm so thankful that you're here. I'm not going to get into anything moving forward. There's all types of rumors, all this stuff. I'm so glad you're here for this Super Bowl run. Hats off to you. Great work, AG. How you feeling about AG, Steve?
Sad.
Why?
Very sad. Because we're just not going to have him for much longer, William. Today was, if you're an NFL team and you need a head coach, there's plenty of you out there. The Jets, I think the Patriots just fired their coach. The Jaguars, I don't know what else is coming on the line. How Aaron Glenn's not at the top of the list, I don't know. I know this is an offensive league. You have to establish culture first. All right, you have to establish respect from players and coaches. And I think Aaron Glenn checks both of those boxes right off the rip. All right. This is a guy that's been voted by the what I don't even know what to call it. The most liked coach in the NFL, according to players and coaches. So this is someone that people want to come play for. All right. If you need an offensive coordinator, hey, I want to go play for or coach with AG. I want to go play with AG. Like that should be the thing. That should be box number one. That if you're starting or if you're hiring a coach, that should be the first thing you look for is, who can I come in that's going to get respect in my locker room? Aaron Glenn, he's not going to be in Detroit next year. If he is, thank you, NFL, for making a huge mistake, because I said months ago, I'm more worried about losing Aaron Glenn than I am Ben Johnson. Aaron Glenn is doing all of this without a full deck of cards. All right. Aiden Hutchinson on the sidelines today. No Hutch. Like, you guys know the injuries. I'm not going to list them all. What he did tonight, best game of his Detroit Lions career, I think. I mean, I've never seen a 9-point shutout. I just saw one. I didn't even know it was a thing. It was a 9-point shutout. Like, you got the Minnesota Vikings didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like
even when they were sniffing,
yeah,
they were sniffing around our goal line a few times and just getting the door slammed, going forward on fourth down, trying to play Detroit Lions football. No, play your game. Don't try to play our game. Like, he put on a clinic, man. He put on a clinic. I'm so thoroughly impressed. Even when I think that he can't impress me more, he always does. He found a way to get pressure on Sam Darnold, get him off the X, make him run for his life, make life hard for him. It was just, man, again, AG masterclass. Hats off to you. I tip my hat. I don't know what you're going to do moving forward. Like I said, I'm not even really going to get into that, but I'm just thankful you're here. Next is Alex Anzalone, man. Alex Anzalone, all of that little bullshit, that little running back bullshit. No, shut that shit down. Shut that shit down. Hey, listen, Aaron Jones, you thought you were going to run around and do that Ty Chandler shit. You saw Buffalo come in and do, that Swift shit that Chicago tried to do. Like, no. That's dead. And you're right, Steve. I did. I said, when Alex Anzalone gets back, I can't get into 40 times. I can't tell you how fast he's going to run a 100-meter dash. Is he going to run it faster than some of these other guys? But what I do know, he knows our defense. He knows how to get into our sets. Coach Campbell said it today, and he put it perfectly. He is the quarterback of our defense. And that's exactly what he did. He got us into the right sets. He got us into the right situation. He kept us poised when we needed to be poised. He looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Like, he didn't look rusty to me. And he didn't look like he was kind of playing a little bit timid. He looked like the same reckless Alex Anzalone, swinging people down on the ground, making plays. Like, I was thoroughly impressed, man. That didn't look like a guy who had a freaking steel in his implanted into his forearm, a steel plate. He looked like a dude that was just playing normal football, man. Again, Alex Anzalone, you're a dog. Thor, you're a dog. So thankful to have you back. Steve, I gotta tip you and give you your flowers. The place went absolutely crazy when he came out of the tunnel. Like, I couldn't even hear. My ears were ringing. Like, I started off this thing. I couldn't even get to kickoff before I had a headache going. And I love that headache. That's the best headache I ever get. And when the place is rocking, people are screaming. It was just your ears rattling and ringing. Man, it was just Alex Anzalone, man. Phenomenal. Amik Robertson.
Where do you even want to begin? William,
Steve, he's a fucking animal. Like, he's an animal. Like, I should have talked about him last, Steve. This dude, there was a couple of times we came on here and we gave Minnesota, if you slide in here, we gave Justin Jefferson his flowers. We said, hey, listen, this is the best receiver on the freaking planet, not in the United States, not in the NFL, on the planet, like, period. Right. And we might even get into the other planets. You bring some aliens in here. I think Justin Jefferson still got him. Amik was lining him up in his chest at times. Like, hey, what are we doing? On the one big catch that he did have, I truly believe, I haven't got to rewatch it on film, but today
someone fell.
Yeah. Well, I was drooling over the fact that he was lining up and playing press man against him. Now, he wasn't in press man without help all the time, right? But there was oftentimes where Amik Robertson was press man against Justin Jefferson. The dude is 5'9". What are we talking about? Right? Press man against Justin Jefferson. What are we doing? What are you trying
especially in the red zone?
What are we doing? What's up? Running his routes. He was running his routes for him. Like, come on, man. This was special. It wasn't, are we gonna put on a clinic about him taking and closing off the inside or the outside, or taking kick steps or speed turning or doing everything perfect, perfect footwork? No. But when you want to talk about competition, and there was opportunities, and this is what I was trying to get people to understand. I was arguing with my son about it. He was talking about, hey, shout out to Tosh, first Lions game today. He was pumped, he was going nuts. But I was arguing with him. He was like, man, Justin was open on that play and they just missed him, man. That's Sam Darnold's fault, or that's Justin Jefferson's fault. No, Amik was making everything tough. Justin Jefferson had a hard time going to the locker room to get the halftime. Like, everything was hard today. Like, everything that he did in life today was hard. Hearing the play in the huddle, he's so tired because he's fighting this guy every single play for his life. It was tough. That was just absolutely special. I cannot believe that Amik doesn't get more flowers. He didn't even get the game ball today. Shame on you, Coach Campbell. I know Alex Anzalone got it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I didn't see who got the game ball.
Yeah, Alex Anzalone got it. Alex Anzalone got it, but he should have gave out too, because what Amik did, he did talk about him in the press conference, but what Amik did today against the best receiver in the league was special, man. Was special. So listen, Amik, tip my hat to you, man. Absolute dog. I don't know how this job goes to anybody else moving forward, because this is
I think it's sealed. I think today we answered that question. If you don't know what question that is, you can go to our TikTok page, see that it's posted on there. I don't know how you kick Amik Robertson off the field with Carlton Davis coming back. I don't see how you can. Terran Arnold played good ball, but also he injured his ankle today, high ankle sprain, I think I saw, so nothing serious, but a boo-boo, something to monitor in the future. But Amik Robertson, I texted you at one point today when Amik Robertson, like you said, ran his route for him in the end zone, jumped it, got in front of it. Amik, we just got to work on these, buddy. The feet's there, the body position's there, but we might have to get a little hands work. Because I texted you, said, I got to have that pick, William. I just, I got to have that, but
he just got on the ball late because he was fighting with him, because he ran the route for him and he was still kind of twisted up fighting with him, and then at the last minute he went to turn around and catch it and the ball was already on top of him. Now, don't get me wrong, he was freaking out, punching his own self in the face, like, yeah, I should have caught it or whatever, but it was a tough play. There was another one too that I thought that he could have a ball got tipped and it was right there for the take, and then I thought maybe he could have got that one, but man, I got zero complaints. We're splitting hairs. This dude was phenomenal today. Phenomenal. Just anytime you can compete with Justin Jefferson the way that he did, it was phenomenal. And then Brian Branch, although he wasn't getting his hands on footballs necessarily, there was a couple little dink and dunk throws that he almost batted down that he made tough on Sam Darnold. He was blitzing off the edge, causing problems in the backfield. And he had a couple of tackles on run plays that were awesome, man. It was exactly what I thought that it would be from a situation of the personnel that we had. Saw a lot of Iffy Melifonwu playing on the back end with Kirby Joseph. Saw a lot of Brian Branch at the nickel position and playing inside of the box. I think we're going to see a lot of this moving forward with our secondary condition. I'm really hoping if I'm really hoping if Terrion has to miss time, whether it's a week because of the high ankle sprain. I know we're going to get a bye, but sometimes high ankle sprains can last a little bit of time. So if he's got to miss a game, or, I'm really hoping that we get Ennis Rakestraw back, because I really believe in Ennis Rakestraw if he's healthy, and I would like to see him get an opportunity. I'm not coming on here to be negative, but I would like to see Ennis Rakestraw get an opportunity rather than Kendall Vildor. And just because I feel like we know what Kendall Vildor is, he's going to get out there and he's going to compete and he's going to do his best. I think Ennis Rakestraw's ceiling is higher. So let's let him get out there, get an opportunity to see what he does. And then if he can't get it done, we'll just go back to Kendall Vildor until we get Terry and Arnold back, man. So, hey, man, Ennis, get back, get on this field, and take heed to your opportunity if it comes, man. What else you got, Steve?
DJ Reader was an absolute force to be reckoned with tonight. Okay,
He was.
I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could be a fly on the wall this past week in this defensive rooms, because I don't know what AG was putting out into the world. I don't know if he was showing them what's being said nationally. I don't know if he was showing them stats. I don't know if he was calling guys out, but DJ Reader, he didn't look happy today. Okay. He didn't look happy. And at the other end of that unhappiness was Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman. Okay. I haven't seen a beating like that since Bobby Brown and Whitney. Okay. Like, it was just getting too physical out there, William. It was just getting too physical out there. He was an absolute force. He was eating up double teams. Zadarius Smith was getting after the quarterback. Yeah. He had a big sack for like a loss of 17 right on the goal line in front of us. Pascal was getting some pressures. I think Pascal should have had that fumble recovery. I do think Justin Jefferson caught that ball, but we're going to, hey, whatever, refs, maybe you owe us a couple, but it looked like a catch to me in a fumble recovery. Muhammad had a sack. I think that was the key to the game to me, is take away Minnesota's running game, make Sam Darnold one-dimensional. He's been great all season, but I don't think he was ready for this environment. They had a lot of false start penalties, some delay of games. I don't think he really had a grasp of the game, especially early on. So that defensive line, I thought, answered the call today too. And everyone who came in, Pat O'Connor got some pressures, like, pick up the phone, because everyone was answering it today, William. So before we shift to the offense, hands down, without a doubt, if you've ever doubted Aaron Glenn, this is a time to apologize, because what he did today was the best defensive performance I've seen against a really, really good Minnesota Vikings offense. Okay. Like, let's not take that away and act like we just beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. That was a 14-2 football team that came in here.
14-3.
Yeah, well, 14-2 at the time. I was trying to be nice, William. They are now 14-3. Yes. But
that's right.
Shifting to offense.
Yes, sir.
Do we start calling him Jameer Sanders or Barry Gibbs? I don't know. What do we start calling Jameer Gibbs? MVP? Why is he not being talked about? Hot question. Why is Jameer Gibbs not being mentioned in the MVP race? I'm not saying he should win, but I think we should at least start mentioning his name, okay? Because what I'm seeing him do most of the season with David Montgomery splitting carries, what are we talking? 1,800 total yards? 20 some touchdowns. What are we doing here? A guy who's a go-to receiver now on fourth down? Why is he not getting talked about, William? Tell me.
Because he was not the premier featured back all season. If he was, it would be a runaway. It would be a runaway. A lot of people said not nice things a few weeks ago when I said that he was the best running back in the league.
Can I pause right there?
Yes.
I think one of the hardest things for any man to do, any man, myself, you, any man, is to admit when they were wrong. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's not easy.
I was wrong. Jameer Gibbs is the best running back in football. It's not even close. Okay. Yeah. He's getting Saquon production with half the touches. So
that's it. That's it. I was just honestly, I wasn't going to go too far with it. I was going to say, listen, Jameer Gibbs, I'm not going to continue to say that. I'm not just going to definitively say that he is the best running back in the league. I'm just going to say this. Jameer Gibbs is a top 3 running back in this NFL, and he's not number 2 or 3. I'm just gonna say, he's a problem, man. There's nothing that he can't do on a football field. Nothing. And I know what the immediate thought is. If you need to get a foot on the goal line, is he the guy that you go to? Well, if I have David Montgomery healthy, no, he isn't a guy that I go to. But do I think if I don't have a healthy David Montgomery and I'm looking over at that sideline and I have Craig Reynolds, no disrespect, Craig Reynolds runs hard. He's a downhill, powerful guy. And I don't know much about Sione Vaki yet at the NFL level, but I still believe that if Jahmyr Gibbs decides that he's going to put a foot in the ground and come downhill, he can do so if he decides that. That's just not truly his game. But he can run in between the tackles. He obviously can get outside and hit a corner. He can run patiently and run zone concepts. He can run downhill and run gap concepts. He can catch passes out of the backfield. He can catch passes lined up at the receiver position. He can block in the run game. There's nothing that this dude can't do as a running back. Zero. So again, my only comparison for him that's currently playing in the NFL is Christian McCaffrey. And I think that he's better at lining up as a receiver than Christian McCaffrey is. And he's been more durable. Now, we just got a small sample size. But if we're talking about right now, what I've seen, this dude's a problem. And he can hit a home run at any time. This dude is special. 4 touchdowns today.
Yeah, looking at the box score, 23 carries, just 139 yards, no big deal. I mean, just another day. Average 6 yards, 3 touchdowns, long of 47. Receiving, nothing special, just 5 catches, 30 yards, a touchdown catch on 4th down. What's that? We're looking at like 180 total yards here on 28 carries or 28 touches. Not that big of a deal. Shouldn't be. No need to mention him for MVP.
What really impressed me today was this Minnesota Vikings defense was nasty, physical, tough. You had guys like Harrison Smith on the back end. You had Harrison Phillips up front. Right, these linebackers were tough and nasty. I thought at what was it, Grenard that almost killed him, almost took his life on the field. He peeled himself off, which was tough because he was hurt. He was hurt bad. Peeled himself off the grass and just ran to the sideline and got to the sideline. Man, Van Ginkel was right there, just making everything tough, and especially in that first half. In that first half,
Ivan Pace.
Yeah, Ivan Pace. Every yard was tough in that first half. And we watched a slender guy who supposedly isn't physical just wear on the Minnesota Vikings until he beat them down, along with our offensive line, into where they just started to give. You could see it. It was like now runs that were 2 yards were 4 yards. They were 6 yards. They were 13. They were 30. Like this, he's special, man. And I love what we got. I'm not trying to change anything. I love the 2-headed monster. I think that that's going to cause Jahmyr Gibbs his career to be longer and then give him an opportunity to play longer with hopefully the Detroit Lions for his whole career. But he's going to be in this NFL longer because he's not going to have as much wear and tear. But Steve, like you said, almost 1,800 yards of scrimmage yards from a guy who was splitting carries with another 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? How are you not in an MVP race? Because we're not really looking at it for his ability and what he's doing with his touches. We're looking for guys who are the feature guy, the sexy guy, the Saquon Barkleys of the world who don't have anybody nipping at their ankles that they're sharing carries with. This dude is special, man. Bottom line, moving forward, he's going to be a guy that they're going to be forced to talk about. And I think that the stars aligned and with David Montgomery getting banged up. So people can see what Jahmyr Gibbs really is. Looking forward to having David Montgomery back. I think that he offers some things that are really going to be able to help us, and we're going to be able to keep both our backs fresh. So looking forward to you getting back, Chuck Bruce, Knuckles. When you get back, it's going to be super exciting. But after a day like this, just a reminder, guys, if you hit that subscribe button and you're a member, this is going away later on today. You know, by the time you're watching this will be going away. A Brian Branch jersey will be going away. Panay Sewell jersey will be going away. Some Fanatics gift cards going away. And I'm glad I don't have anything else to give away, because in the mood right now, I'm ready to give away everything.
I might give my life for a Super Bowl. For a Super Bowl. Okay, we're on the right track. Yeah, I mean, just offensively, first half wasn't pretty, but I'll give some credit to the Vikings. They tried to play Dan Campbell football, going for it on 4th down inside the 5. I think that was, obviously I understand what you're doing. Like, hey, if we don't get it, Lions are pinned. They got to go 98, 97 yards. That's tough to do in the NFL. Jared Goff made some mistakes. I didn't like that second interception where he just kind of threw it up. The first one was just a good play by the defense. I think he just broke up a screen. I can't even remember who got it. I think that was Pace. Just kind of tipped the ball up to himself. Interception. I mean, this defense for the Vikings played good. All right, they kept them in the game in the first half. The offense didn't help them. So when we're stuck inside our own 5, that's a long way to go. I was actually kind of thinking like, man, like if the Vikings kick field goals, that's great, because then we're getting the ball at least the 30 and not stuck inside our own 5. So it took the Lions offense until the second half to really start exploding and getting some big chunk plays. I thought St. Brown had one of the best catches I've seen on a 3rd down, where he just straight up caught a ball with his fingertips. Yeah, not even his hands, just his fingertips. Amik Robertson, take notes, as mentioned earlier. I thought Jameson Williams had a good game. He got over 1,000 yards for the season, and he had the most targets in this game. I believe he had 6 catches, 8 targets. Sam Laporta, 7 catches, led the team. I mean, we could talk for weeks about Jahmyr Gibbs, but offense, not very sexy in the first half. All right, they give some credit to Minnesota. They stuck us inside our own 5. It happens. They made some plays, forced some turnovers, but we weren't giving up points. Period. Like, that's just all it came down to. As Aaron Glenn said, Jared Goff threw another interception. Good. I don't want my defense catching their breath. Get out there. Put that practice.
Yeah.
Done with these guys.
I know this isn't a Minnesota Vikings podcast, but I am interested to see what happens moving forward, because there's this thing that goes around called the Detroit Lions hangover. And you're about to go see a team who rested their starters, I believe.
They play the Rams. Yeah, they play the Rams.
Yeah, they rested their starters. So you're going to see some fresh starters that you're going to have to deal with after just playing a football game against the Detroit Lions, who play a tough, gritty brand of football. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. And I'm super thankful, keeping it back to our guys, that, man, we get this bye week. We get an opportunity to get our guys healthy. I tell you what, out of all the teams in the NFL, I don't think there's a team that needs a bye week more than us.
Facts.
So I'm excited for that, man.
You know what I'm excited for?
What's that, going back to Ford Field?
No, go ahead.
No, that was it. I was going to say going back to Ford Field.
I'm excited to get to watch football from the comfort of my home next week, and I don't have to give a damn about what happens in the NFL. Whoever comes here, good luck. Let me ask you one last question.
Talk to me.
Did the crowd atmosphere tonight match that playoff game against the Rams last year?
Man, it was better.
Was it?
Yeah, it was better for me. I had a couple sprinkles of Vikings fans around me they weren't getting rowdy at me.
How could you? Yes, whooped.
They were getting rowdy though. They were getting rowdy. Yeah, they were talking big time trash, man. And I thought there might be a fight at one point. Like it was like that. So but you would have to really be directing it at me in a bad way. I know one thing they looked up and said one thing in my direction. I don't know if they were talking to me, or I was just like, whatever.
You almost got jumped.
Nah, it wasn't bad, man. But I just think, man, still, even with that said, I don't care who comes, man. But it was the atmosphere. People were screaming the whole game, standing pretty much the whole game. It was like never that lull. After the first couple defensive series, it seems like people aren't screaming. The 3rd down signs aren't the same. Like, people are kind of holding them up, but it's not like that. No, it was the whole game in my section. It was, I mean, people were going nuts. My ears were rattling. Like I said, I had a headache before things even got started. When Alex Anzalone came out, that place was rocking. And I don't know, man. It was just like I said, man, another one of those times where it was almost a spiritual experience, man. Like back to back, just I'm
I don't think
thankful.
it was as good as the Rams last year, but I mean, that was the first playoff win in 30 years. That's going to be tough to beat. All right. It's just
It
going to
is.
be tough. And I get it. This was probably the one game I said this will be close, but I think it was just a hair underneath that Rams games from last year. And I'll say this real quick. Did you see those reports that Vikings ownership spent like $2 million on tickets to sell to their fans for like face value? Did you see that article?
I did see that.
Why? Let me ask you a question. Why would you give your season ticket holders tickets to this game to come out to Detroit and watch you get your ass whooped for 4 straight quarters? Why? Why would you come all the way to Detroit in the cold winter to watch your team get your ass whooped like that?
I'll tell you this. The Detroit fans have taken over stadiums without us having our management, our team buying tickets for us. Right? The Jared Goff chants have taken over stadiums without anybody buying tickets. So I think that should be a tell of the type of fans that you're dealing with. If you got to buy their tickets for them to get them to travel, right? And you've just won 14 games, right? Trying to go win the 15th game and get the number 1 seed. You shouldn't have to buy your fans tickets. Right? That's just the bottom line. So, and don't give me this. Don't give me this. You were trying to do it out of kindness of your heart. Bottom line, it was fear. It was fear. They were trying to do something about the atmosphere that they knew that they were coming into, and it wasn't. The Vikings fans tried to make noise a few times, and they just got drowned out. Or in our section, it was a guy just screaming at one point when the Detroit Lions were on offense, and then no joke, probably about 30 Lions fans just stood up and just started staring at him. Was like, "Shut up!" And it was imposing. It was an imposing moment, man. So, I don't know, man. I just don't think it's a good look. I wish that the NFL could do something about something like that. I don't think that any team should be doing that. The franchise buying tickets and, taking it away from people that are really trying to get those tickets. Whether it was a Minnesota Vikings fan, because that was not didn't know how to get the tickets from the team, or a Detroit Lions fan that was trying to acquire those tickets as well, man. It's like, just go about it the right way, man. Let's not.
I know you ain't getting Steve Perkins tickets. I know that. That's one thing I'm worried about is my ass will be there. So, anything else tonight, William?
Listen, I know I joked around. Well, it wasn't really a joke. I was talking about putting my tickets up for $5,000, but I don't think that there's a price that you can put on these playoff tickets. Like, and I just say that because my son had tossed it out there today. He was like, "Dad, playoff tickets, you're gonna put them up for $5,000 again?" I said, "Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna be at these playoff games. Period. Period.
Two wins away from the Super Bowl. I'm gonna watch both of them.
I'm gonna watch them at Ford Field. Period."
If you're one of our supervisors at work, you can either put me in the vacation book right now for these days I need off, or just accept the fact that my ass will not be coming in. All right. So when that schedule comes out, you just look at it and say, "Oh, Steve won't be there. Will won't be there." Fill that overtime, baby, because we ain't coming in. All right. I just got to put this up one more time before we end the show. Back-to-back NFC North Champions, 1 seed clinched, much needed bye week. Enjoy the rest of the next week watching some playoff football, wild card round without having to worry about anything. We'll see who the Detroit Lions play. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.